Hi, this tutorial is a basic overview of Photoshop Elements. If you don't have Photoshop Elements yet, you can Google it, do a search for it, Photoshop Element. You can see here's adobe.com. You can go there and you can see that Photoshop Elements is right now at $69.99. You can also get Photoshop Elements, and Premiere Elements combined for $99.99. Premiere Elements is a video program that can help you to create videos. Photoshop Elements is what we're going to be using to create our scrapbook pages. This is a sale right now, and you can sometimes find it on sale. Usually it's $99 for Photoshop Elements by itself. So look around, you can get some good deals. Best Buy has some. You can buy it on Amazon even, or from the Adobe site itself. There are different places you can buy Photoshop Elements, and you can usually download a month, 30-day free trial before you buy it. So I'd encourage you to do that. I'm on a Mac, so it might look a little bit different if you're on a PC, but the program itself is basically the same. I'm going to launch Photoshop Elements right here, Photoshop Elements 2020. Up here along the top, you see some things where these are guided edits. These can help you out if you want to do a particular thing, and it'll walk you through step by step. On the side over here and under here are recent files that I've opened and worked on. Here are your links for Organizer, the photo editor, and the video editor. This Organizer is a program that comes with Photoshop Elements, and it helps to organize your photos or your art. You can put them in folders and put them in albums, and it has a little thumbnail that you can see exactly what you're looking at, and you can open directly from there into Photoshop Editor. This is the Photoshop Elements right here. This is Premiere Elements. That's the video one that you can also buy with Photoshop Elements if you want Premiere. Let's launch Photoshop Editor, or Photoshop Elements, because that's what we're going to be working on. And when it opens up, you get this window right here. Now there are three main ways that you can edit your pictures. There's the quick, and you can see the quick. This is your toolbar over here. You just have very limited number of toolbars. Tools, very few things down here, different effects and frames and textures, different adjustments that you can make, but they're all limited. You only have a few here and there. Not very many things to choose from. Just a quick edit. There's guided, which is like the first screen. These will give you some guided edits. If you have something open, you want to do something specific, like correct skin tone or crop a photo or levels, and you want to have a little bit of instruction on that, you can go to these and they'll walk you through step by step how to do it. We're going to be using this Expert. You can see the toolbar over here, how many tools you have compared to the quick. Just have a few. You can also see over here on the right hand side, you have a lot of different things here, and we'll get into that in a minute. Up here at the top, you'll see the regular menu bar, like many programs have. Under File, you can see if there's a little arrow over here, that means there's another flyout menu or a drop-down menu or a sub-menu that'll have other things that you can choose. This also shows you the keyboard shortcuts. Now you want to learn these keyboard shortcuts for things that you do all the time, over and over and over again. It'll really help speed up your workflow. Over here is your tools. This is your tool palette. And each tool, let's click on one. Each tool you'll see down here has different options. These are the tool options. If you click on that, it'll toggle open and close your options. You'll click on another one and see the different tools, the different options that come up with each tool. And we'll go through these tools on different tutorials. I just wanted to show you where they are and what they are. This is the photo bin down here. Again, it toggles open and closed. Whenever you're working on something here in the big window, this is your main workspace. It'll show up down here. Any open photo or artwork you have, any open file will show up down here in the photo bin. Here you also have undo, redo, rotate, layout. We can get into layout a little bit later. Organizer, that just takes you to the organizer. There, it's opening up in organizer. There I have folders over here, and it shows a thumbnail of each one. We'll get into that later. And home takes you to that home screen that we just saw on there. Over here you have some different things. If you go on layers, and we'll be learning about layers in depth here because we use layers a lot. That's your layers panel, your effects panel, which has a lot of different things you can do. Your filters, you see all the different filters that they have that can make some really drastic changes to your art if you want to do that. Different styles, and the graphics. Now the graphics is what we'll use most often. And I've got it by type up here. You can organize them by these different categories, different categories. I like to do mine by type. That gives me the backgrounds. Gives me backgrounds, frames, graphics, shapes, and text. These are backgrounds, for example. Look how many backgrounds you have, and these come with Photoshop Elements. There's just tons of backgrounds. Frames, these are different frames. You can pull them into your artwork and then bring a picture into the frame. Graphics, these are different graphics that you can use on your artwork. And all these come with your Photoshop Elements. Different shapes. And then different text effects that we can use. Let's start something real quick here. Let's go down to File, New, Blank File. This window opens up, the New File window. Here you can give it a name, or you can wait to name it when you save it. I usually just name it when I save it. The document type, that gives you these different choices that you can use. If you're doing a letter size, or there's the international size. International size changes things to millimeters. You've got the different sizes there. In US paper, you've got these different sizes, letter, legal, and tabloid, and they're in inches. So if you're going to make a flyer or something for your business, or a business card or a postcard or anything, something different, something that's not scrapbooking, you can do that easily here. Scrapbooking is what we're mainly concerned with here, and you can go 12 by 12, 8 by 8, 6 by 6, or you can type in your own thing over here. Let's just type in 10 by, I don't know, let's go 10 by 4. You can see that's the 10 width and the 4 height. 300 resolution, you want to always keep it at 300 resolution at least for your scrapbook pages. The RGB and the white is default, and I just leave it on that. You can pick a background color, which is, this is your background color over here. The white is the background color, the red is the foreground. White, we're already on white anyway, or transparent is an option. I just leave it on white. That's good for the background. Click OK. And now you see we have a 10 by 4 artboard here. You can see the rulers up here that show that it's 10 inches by 4 inches. We want to take it back to 12 by 12. I just did that to give you a show, to show you how to do that. Let's go to canvas size and go back to 12 by 12. 12 by 12. Okay. Now, let's go to the background. Let's pull some background in there. To bring a background in, what you want to do is find the background you like. I'll just take this first one. Click with your mouse and hold, and drag it over and drop it right on your artboard. And there it is. Your background's in there. And if you go to the photo bin, there it is right there. You can bring in other backgrounds if you want. Just do the same thing and it'll just replace it. Drag it, hold it, drag it in, drop it. Let's try something else now. Let's bring in a frame. We'll bring in, just pick one here. We'll bring in this frame right here. Okay, there's a frame. Let's bring in a graphic. Let's bring in this basketball. Let's bring in a shape. I'm just going to show you some things. Let's bring in this apple. Now that turned red because my color here is red, even though it looks black here. And we can change the color. You can change the color anytime you want. Let's make some text. Click on the text tool here. We want this text tool. That's the horizontal type tool. You can see the, if you just hover over it a little bit with your mouse, usually a little description will come up to tell you what it is. This is the vertical type tool. This is the horizontal type mask tool, and we'll get all into that in other tutorials. Horizontal type tool, that's what we want. Hello. Let's get this move. This is the move tool up here. We can click on that and then we can move it around. Okay. Let me open up another photo. So I'll go here to the organizer. It's loading the organizer. Okay, let's pick this. This is my grandson. We'll pick that. Right click on a PC or hit Control on a Mac and click on it, and you'll get this menu that comes out, and you can say Edit with Photoshop Elements Editor. And there it is. You can see in the photo bin, now you got that one in there. There's our artwork. There's the picture of the boy. Now, if we want to bring that picture into our artwork, let's click on that, because that's the one we're going to work on. And we're going to bring this one up. Click on it and hold, and bring it up and drop it. See where it says click here to add photo, or drag the photo here? We'll drag the photo there. Let go of it, and that pops right in there. Here you can change the sizes. Okay, we want it to fill the whole frame, so there it is. Check mark. And we can move it up and down a little bit, make it fit. You can also use your arrow keys to move it, make sure that it fits. And that's how you work with the frames. Now, let's look one more thing here before we end this tutorial. Over here on the layers, you'll see that how many layers I have now. This is the background layer. These three combined make up the frame. This is the basketball. And if you look at this little eyeball on the side here, if you click that, that will take it on and off. The visibility, that's the visibility. So you got the basketball, you've got the apple, and you've got the text. Now if you want to move these around, let's take a look at something here. Let's click on the apple shape. Let's move the apple shape on top of the basketball. You see how the layer, it's on top of the basketball layer? There's the basketball layer. There's the shape layer, which is the apple. If you want to change that and make the basketball on top of the apple, just click and hold on that layer and just drag it down. See how that layer, how that line between the basketball and the layer below it gets fat? As soon as it's fat, just drop it. And now the basketball is on top of the apple. And you can see that. If you want to make a different size, let's click on that apple again. These corners, see the corner squares? If you click and drag those, that'll scale your art proportionately. And you want to click on this little check mark, or you can just click push enter or return on your keyboard. That will commit the edits. Now if you drag on one of these that are in the middle, there, or there, that will distort your artwork. See how it brings it down and makes it longer and taller? It distorts it. So I don't want to do that. Let's click that. Okay, that's kind of a basic overview. Just to review a little bit, we want to work on expert mode. These are your tools over here. You've got your photo bin that shows anything that's open, and you can have as many photos or artworks open as you want. These are your tool options. Every time you pick a different tool, you'll have different options. You can go to the organizer to get your different pictures. Layers. When you click on it, it toggles off and on. Layers. You can always want to work with the layers because that makes things so much easier. Effects, filters, styles. We don't do those very much. Graphics we use a lot. We use a lot of graphics. Frames, background, shapes, and text. We didn't do a text thing, did we? Let's select that text. Select the text. Let's go to our text. Let's just grab one of these. Bring it in, drop it. Click OK. There's our text effect. And like the shapes, you can grab one of these and make it bigger. That moved the whole thing, didn't it? There it goes. Makes it bigger. Check mark to OK it. Now when you get done with your artwork, you go up to File and Save As. This is where I usually name it. If you haven't named it, if you didn't name it before when you opened it up, here's where you'd name it. And keep it a PSD. That's a Photoshop document. That will keep all of your layers. Let's see if that won't show you the layers, because I was in that dialog box. File, Save As. That keeps all of these layers if you're in a Photoshop document, PSD, or you can go with a TIFF. TIFF will keep all of the layers, but it's usually a little bit bigger file. Better just to stick with Photoshop file. Photoshop file is good, and make sure this layers is clicked. Tell it where you want to save it. So I would save it, for example, down in my Learn Digital Scrapbooking folder. And then click Save. I'm going to name it Tutorial 1. Save. And now it's saved. If I close this out, I'll close that one too. If I go to my home, there it is right there, recent files, and it opens right back up. And then I can continue working on it. If I'm completely done with it, then I can save it as a JPEG, and it'll flatten it, make it smaller. That's the file that you want to take to get printed. So that's the tutorial for today. I'll probably be doing a tutorial every week, at least once a week, maybe twice a week, and we'll go over all of these tools and go over a lot of other effects and different graphics and different things that you can use to help build your scrapbook pages. So thank you for joining me for this, and we'll see you next time.